Welcome to English 1 6 Weeks Compressed. My name is Professor Zilke, and in this video I'm going to give you all the information you need to get started. In this class, we will be going over instruction and practice in essay writing. This will include reading and analysis of published essays and practice in basic research skills. This class will be asynchronous and will not involve any Zoom meetings. However, you will have assignments due every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at midnight. I'm going to jump in at this point in the video and give you a quick overview of what our Course Canvas homepage looks like. So this is going to be our homepage. Over on the left, you're going to have all the different pages that you're going to have access to. And then here on the right is going to be your to-do list. This is going to be really important because it's going to tell you everything that's coming up. Right now, I have blocks 1, 2, and 3 open, so they are all going to be listed here. These are not all due at the same time, so you can go to modules to kind of see what's due in each block. You can also obviously see the due dates down here to kind of see what's going to be due. So the homepage has a lot of useful information. So in this little box here is going to be all the important due dates for those first couple weeks of class. So it's going to have the due date for our first block, as well as a due date that I'm going to be using to drop students who are not keeping up with the assignments. So right before the drop deadline, I am going to be dropping any students who have not completed blocks 1 and 2. So as long as you're keeping up with the deadlines, you do not have to worry about this. But if you are finding yourself falling behind that first week, please make sure that you have that deadline in mind and make sure that you are all caught up by that deadline. So that's going to be all listed here. And then down here we have different destinations. So we have the semester calendar, we have important semester information, our class syllabus where you can access your grades, announcements, and then an MLA module for when you start writing your essays. And then I have the unit modules down here. So right now, only Unit 1 is going to be accessible, but as the semester goes on, you'll be able to access the other units as well. And then we just have some general helpful information down here. It has nothing to do with the class. If you don't need it, that's absolutely fine. But I just always like to include some important links to students who might need some additional resources. Okay, so that is going to be our front page. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. To get started on your first, assignments, you're going to go down here to Get Started. I have a link here to Module 1, which is going to be our first unit. And then it'll take you right to our modules where you can see I have blocks 1, 2, and 3 open. Block 1, obviously, is going to be what you're going to do first. And then you're going to, once you have all the block 1 done, you can get started on block 2 and so forth. I will get these graded as you get them submitted. And if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And that will be our homepage. So what does compressed mean? This course covers the same content included in the regular 16-week course. This means that the class is the equivalent to taking around 3 classes at the same time. So make sure that you're prepared for the workload ahead of time and have the time to put toward the class. If you know that you struggle with time management and sticking to deadlines, I do suggest taking a regular 16-week course. Since we will not have any formal meetings or check-ins, it is your responsibility to let me know if there are any problems or if you need extra support. In terms of communication, we will be using the Remind app, Canvas email, and weekly check-ins through the announcements in Canvas. So make sure that you're checking all 3 and that you are communicating with me throughout the semester. Deadlines and due dates. Assignment blocks will be due every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will be sending reminders on our Class Remind app, and I will be posting a weekly announcement that will list any important information or changes to due dates or assignments. I also like to have small extra credit opportunities in the announcement, so it's worthwhile to check in on those. I usually post those on Saturday or Sunday. All assignments and essays have a midnight deadline. You will also have a 6-hour grace period where assignments can be submitted late without any penalties. This is built in case you have any technical difficulties. What this means is that the midnight deadline can be extended until 6 a.m. for any of the deadlines. You do not need to notify me or tell me what happened. As long as you get it in by 6 a.m., I will consider it on time. What you will need for class. You're going to need a computer or tablet. You're going to need to download the Remind app on your phone and turn on notifications. Have an active Google Drive with a folder for classwork. And make sure that you are generally comfortable using multimedia and technology since we are 100% online. Census and getting dropped. In week 1, it is especially important to keep up with your assignments as I will be dropping students before census who are not completing their work. Blocks 1 and 2 must be completed by the deadline. You can check the homepage for the exact dates. If you do not have blocks 1 and 2 completed by this deadline, you will be dropped from the class. As I stated previously, blocks will be due every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and will take around 3 to 4 hours with additional time needed for essays. It's really important with this compressed course that you do start blocks early and not try to get it all done right before the due date. Always take a look at the week ahead so you can leave enough time for yourself. Most assignments can be completed early without any issue, and I'll go over any exceptions for that. As you start working on Block 2, you will start to notice assignments with an essay prep designation at the end of the assignment title. These assignments are part of your essay writing process and should be prioritized over other assignments if you have limited time because they are time sensitive. These assignments do build on one another, so you cannot skip a step, so make sure that you are completing all the essay prep assignments in order. As you start working on your essay prep assignments, you may find that sometimes you do not get full points on those assignments. If you miss any points on essay prep assignments, they can and should be revised and resubmitted for full points. You're going to check the comments for feedback, and if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Make any changes that you need on that assignment, resubmit, and then I will regrade it. Once you have full points, you are approved to start on the next essay prep assignment. As I said, they do build on one another, so you want to make sure that you have full points before moving on to the next one. How to check your grade. In the beginning of the semester, the most important thing is to keep up with deadlines and not worry too much about the exact grade as it can fluctuate a lot. Once we have passed Essay 1, I will start to remind you to keep an eye on your grade. It is extremely important to know your grade status so you don't get caught off guard when it's too late to really do anything about it. You will need a 70% to pass the class, so it's always a good idea to make sure that your grade doesn't fall below that. To check your grade, you can access the link on the homepage, so you're going to click on Grades. And then here you're going to see a list of all the assignments that are past due, that are currently due, or that will be due in the future. So right now, obviously, everything is not due yet, so you're not going to see any grades here. But as the semester progresses, if you submitted something, you'll start seeing a grade beside it. If you didn't submit it, you'll get an automatic 0. And if something is coming up, you'll be able to see, what is coming up in the next couple weeks. So as you go through the semester, you'll be able to see your grade down here. Now, something to note is that the different essays as well as the unit graded assignments are going to be weighted differently. And so you'll have a specific grade for each of those that will come together to make your final grade. Why this is important is because if your grade is not what you want it to be and you want to raise your grade, you're going to want to figure out where you're losing points. So say for essay 1, you get a B on that, so you have, an 80 something over here, but you missed a lot of the other unit graded assignments, and so maybe you only have a 65 or something down here. That's going to tell you that you need to focus on getting those graded assignments done, and that essay-wise you're doing okay. On the other hand, if you are getting all your graded assignments in, but you're not doing very well on your essays, that's going to tell you that you need to focus on that. So it is a really good idea to be comfortable with your grades, to know kind of how they work. And of course, if you have any questions or don't really know, what a grade means, you can always ask me. Some things to note, so if the score shows up as a little dash like this, that means it has not been graded. So please do not email me with freaking out about getting a 0 on something if you see this little dash. That just means I have not graded it yet. There is no grade in the books, and so once I get to it, you will have a grade on that. On the other hand, if you do get a 0, that does mean that you have a 0 for that assignment. Some things to note with that, though, is that if you submitted it after the midnight deadline, it will get an automatic 0. That's just how Canvas handles late work. So even if it's within that 6-hour grace period, you might have kind of a 0 for the first 24 hours until I have a chance to go in and get it graded and replace that grade. So don't get stressed if you submitted it after midnight and you get a 0. That just means that I haven't had a chance to go through and correct that grade, but it is going to show up on my list and I will get to it. If a couple days go by and it doesn't get changed, feel free to reach out to me, but always give me about 48 hours to get caught up on grades, because sometimes it just takes me a while to get to whatever you need me to grade. Essay revisions. In week 3, you'll be submitting your first essay for this class. Just like with essay prep assignments, essays can be revised and resubmitted for a better grade. Only essays that are submitted by the deadline, including the 6-hour grace period, can be revised. So it's much better to submit a partial essay on time than not submit anything and be stuck with the grade. Avoid AI. Do not use AI to write your essays or assignments. The plagiarism checker will flag it and you will get an automatic 0. This also includes using AI writing assistants like Grammarly Go. These tools will be flagged, so again, avoid using them. In the syllabus, I have a list of things you can do to avoid getting flagged for AI use. So if that's something you're concerned about, please refer to that. To get started with your first block of assignments, go to Modules, and Unit 1 will be at the top of the page. You're going to complete all the assignments under Block 1 by the deadline, and then you can start working on Block 2.